The 8th part of JoJo has been releasing monthly since 2011, and the general consensus between the readers is that we're about 60 to 70% done with the story. I think JoJolion is far enough through for me to have a good idea of where it ranks with my favourite parts, so today we're going to take a look at what it does and doesn't do well. JoJolion manages to simultaneously offer something fans of the series will enjoy while also being a breath of fresh air. While part 7 had quite a few references to previous parts, JoJolion is chock full of them in character names, character abilities, and fight structure. Seeing Killer Queen return may not actually make the part any better, but it is still satisfying to the reader and adds to the entire thing feeling like a celebration of the last 30 years of Araki's work. While the mangaka is self-referential in many aspects of the part, the way JoJolion is put together is a great example of the constantly evolving style of Araki, as his art, storytelling, and creativity is constantly improving. The stand of the month format is barely noticeable at times as it's done in a way that doesn't make it feel tacked on, with most fights significantly driving the story and characters forward in ways that the first 6 parts didn't. I also love how the stands of the main cast were handled, as they're not all combat oriented. In previous parts, almost every main character's stand had one purpose: to kick ass. However, in part 8 we have Paisley Park with basically no offensive capabilities, and King Nothing, an automatic stand. King Nothing is a stand in particular that I'm really happy to see, as it's refreshing to have different stand types present from the main cast, and I was similarly happy when Yuya Fungami helped Josuke for a short while in part 4. By having these different stand types, we get characters proving themselves helpful in different ways, with some really unique and bizarre matchups for fights. While we've seen something similar to this in parts 5 and 6, it's nice to see it expanded here. JoJolion also boasts quite possibly the most diverse cast to date, with allies ranging from the age of 9 to 59. As you'd expect, they act differently to how a bunch of 15 to 20-year-olds would, so it's refreshing to have some different perspectives to the situations present throughout. Norisuke in particular is a very interesting character due to his situation as the head of the household, which can cause some conflict at times as he chooses between Jobin and Josuke. The family struggle is one of the most interesting parts of JoJolion, and I'm excited to see it develop in the future. As big as the cast is, this unfortunately brings us to what I find to be JoJolion's biggest problem, with characters not being utilised to the extent that they should. JoJolion is all about mystery, and as you'd expect, this means that the story has to be planned in advance, with the resolutions to said mysteries making sense. While Araki is treading new ground with part 8, expanding on part 4's light mystery themes, it doesn't seem like he's changed his writing style enough to accommodate it. I unfortunately can't find the source, but a while ago in an interview Araki said that a lot of what he writes is made up on the spot, with the Cinderella scene in part 4 getting him out of a situation where Kira would lose early on with no way out. Araki tries to make his work fun more than anything else, and to his credit, his writing style may be the reason we've stuck around for so long. While some inconsistencies aren't too big a deal, one of the most exciting things about the mystery genre in any series is the fans coming up with theories based on the information given. As a result, when Araki introduces seemingly important information then drops it, it can be very frustrating, and it has made me less enthusiastic about many aspects of the part's story, as I can't tell if things seen previously will come up again, or if Araki just forgot. One such example is Kyo Nijimura seemingly being introduced as a major ally and a character of much importance due to her being Kira's sister, but since the arc that she fought Josuke, she hasn't done anything. Perhaps the most damning evidence, however, is the character Carrera, who was initially acquainted with Josefumi and Kira, and then by her next appearance was complete strangers to them. This annoys me to no end, as it seems like her entire 4-chapter introduction arc was a waste of time, as I highly doubt we're ever going to see her again. Maybe I'm wrong and she will come up in the future, but it's this kind of apprehensiveness I'm talking about which lessens my enjoyment of the part. Thankfully, these kind of instances aren't too frequent, so the positives of the cast and the fights managed to override the criticisms I have so far. There's a lot of potential with this part, so with any luck it'll match or even exceed my expectations, as I'm confident this could end up being one of my favourite parts.